As recent college grads, it's about time that we take responsibility and learn some personal finance, right? So over the last year, I've read a handful of personal finance books, listened to podcasts, etc., and really only one has stood out to me. And that's called The Great Rat Race Escape by MJ DeMarco. And in this video, I'll quickly outline the first 100 pages out of the 500 total that I've read so far. So in this section, he debunks classic traditional financial advice, which is to live hyper frugally, pinch pennies so that you can invest as much of your paycheck as possible into the stock market, which grows at a rate of 7% per year. The idea being that your money will compound over time. For example, $100 today will be worth $760 over 30 years. While this strategy will allow you to retire rich, you still have to spend the best years of your life working while your kid sits in daycare. So DeMarco calls this the slow lane strategy. And this is because compound interest only works when you start off with a massive initial investment. Take a look. Now stay with me here, just because there's numbers. If I can figure them out, so can you. At a conservative growth rate of 5%, $500,000 yields $2,000 in monthly income in the stock market, which, as we know, is barely enough to cover rent in today's day. Which means you would need $5 million growing at a 5% interest rate to earn a livable $20,000 per month. But to put that in perspective, to save this much money, a doctor saving 10% of their $200,000 salary would take 230 years to save this much money. Simply put, you cannot save yourself rich. And by the way, those finance gurus who push the compounding interest advice didn't make it by working a 9-to-5 and investing in the stock market. They made it by selling you that advice in a book which you bought. This is what MJ DeMarco, the author, calls leveraged entrepreneurship. The way I understand it is leveraged entrepreneurship involves creating a product, which can be tangible, like a book, or digital, like an online course or an app, which can be sold and scaled repeatedly after it's been produced. So let's say you make a product that costs $25, say it's an app or a book, and you sell 50 units per day. At this pace, it would take 11 years of selling your $25 product 50 times a day to make the $5 million. Now, obviously, creating and marketing and selling a quality product is another whole animal, but I like the analogy of a race. Let's say two people need to race 200 miles. One person runs on foot and the other decides to build a car and then drive once they're done building it. Although it takes longer to build the car up front, once it's built, they're easily going to outpace the person that's on foot. The car is building the business, and on foot is the slow lane, slowly investing whatever money you have left over into the stock market. While I'm no genius, I just found this book to be helpful, and it stands out from everything else that I've read, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it's been so influential to me. So I'm going to keep reading and continue to share what I learn, and if you guys have any comments or anything you want to share with me or anything you think I'm getting wrong, please let me know, and I'll be back soon.